All right, first match play event. How do you think it went?
I think it went great. You know, I think we had a lot of the intricate details nailed down. There was a few kind of moments where we just had to kind of revisit how it all played out, but that's expected the first time you run something brand new. But there wasn't that many. It ran pretty smoothly. We had a little hold up with the TV timeouts and things like that. Otherwise, I don't really have any complaints. I think it was an overall great format. The fans got it. They were buying in. Point Illinois made sense to them, and there was a lot of great energy when the score was close. And I think it wouldn't be. I think it's a little ridiculous to expect, even in a football game or basketball game, there's 20-point spread for the audience to be hanging on the edge of their seats. But when the score was close in the first three events, they were, and it was exciting, and I really enjoyed it.
Are there any issues that, you know, as you were going along in the meet that maybe you didn't think of beforehand? They're like, hey, yeah, maybe this is something we need to tweak.
Well, you know, there's a win-out score, you know, and so as soon as we hit 16 on parallel bars, we had won, you know, and I think that in the future when we do the coin toss, the winning coach or the winning team will have a decision to start on whatever event they want. And then when the 16 point comes up, you're done. You're just done, you know, similar to tennis. And I think that we couldn't do that today, obviously, because we've still got our average score rankings, and this was just a test event. But in the future, I think that could be kind of the future of this kind of match play format where, you know, you win the coin toss, you want to start in your hard event, your best event, and get some points accumulating early. And I think it's more likely to end in a kind of a close shootout there at the end.
That was actually a question I heard some other people ask was, what about changing the order? Like a team gets to pick the order of the event.
Exactly. You know, and I think that's a great idea, is to allow the winner of the coin toss to choose their event. You know, we would probably want to start on rings. If this is a really good team, because we're a great ring team, you know, and then we would end on pommel horse, or we might never even get to pommel horse. And so there's an advantage there, and once again, bring another element of strategy to this kind of format that doesn't really exist with our current traditional format. So I like all these extra kind of in-game choices that we can make. It's like a regular sporting event.
And what about this meet in particular? You guys made a little surprise kind of run on vault. What else kind of stood out to you?
I mean, I think that was strategy at play to a T. You know, Mike had bigger starts. I was expecting a 5-0 run. Not in the direction that it went. I thought we were going to get blown out on vault. We've been traditionally a weaker team. My guys stepped up, and Mike kind of made some early calls that hamstrung him in the end of the rotation. And so where he thought he was going to get 2 points and then kind of had the edge and possibly went out, he missed those points, was kind of left high and dry, and then we were able to win the event out. So that was a perfect example of some strategy at play that neither coach expected, and it was a really exciting momentum change in the meet, and that kind of sealed the win for us and parallel bars. And that's something we all can understand. You know, versus, well, we averaged 14 twos. Like, what does that mean? You know, we won out an event that we thought we were going to probably get beat out clean sweep. And so that was a huge momentum shift, and people understand that.
So obviously everyone's been focusing on this match play for a while. Now you kind of got to shift gears back to the regular. You got postseason stuff coming up. How do you feel about your team and their mindset right now?
Well, it was good. You know, we definitely threw the athletes through a little bit of a ringer. This format was long, and you had to kind of just perform on the fly. The beautiful part about this format is actually you don't have to shift the way we train. It's still straight FIG gymnastics, which is our International Gymnastics Federation rules, as we would run anyway. And so the rules and everything behind the scenes can change as much as you want. You can still run this presentation, this team type of scoring event, no matter what the gymnastics is behind the scenes. And so, you know, really our training plan will change very, very little as we go into this meet. You know, we'll run our set lineups and things like that and try to get scores to build. But for the most part, the actual gymnastics that's being done will stay the same.
All right, thanks, Justin.
Yep.